Hi there, I'm Callum from Early Technical. In today's video we're going to be looking at workshop vices. Now there's so many to choose from out there in the market, and sometimes knowing which one to choose is a very hard decision to make. So what we're going to do in this video is talk through the various different ones available. Let's have a look at some of them in more detail. Okay, so the first vice we're going to look at is by a brand called Holmenkol. This model is called the Super Pro Plus World Cup, and for us it's probably the best vice you can buy. It's not the cheapest, but equally it's not the most expensive, and the design hasn't really changed over the last 10 to 15 years. Probably the only thing that's changed is the colour. Now you have two end stays and the middle set of jaws, which holds the ski by the plate or the binding in place, and then the stays at the end just to balance the ski and stop it from tipping over tip or tail. It's very easy to use. You can lay a ski flat and secure it with the main jaws for doing any base repair, base edging or any patching. You can also use the end stays for side edging. One of the nice little touches is if the binding was in contact with the main jaws here, you can actually lift the stays up and out of the way, making the binding completely clear of the middle jaws. You can also turn the end stays 45 degrees, and that just creates a different platform to work on when you're actually doing your side edges. Some people find it more comfortable working with the ski at 45 degrees, but probably the majority will have it perpendicular to the bench. So that's the Holmenkol Super Pro Plus World Cup. Okay, so the next set of vices here are made by a company called Wintersteiger, and you can't really miss them given their colour. They're very bright and they stand out in a workshop a mile away. This model is called the Ski Vice Pro Wide, so they're pretty much identical to the previous set of vices that we saw by Holmenkol. The end stays are adjustable in height, they turn to 45 degrees, but the main difference here is the actual central clamp or the jaw itself. And this has an opening of up to 155mm, so it's absolutely perfect for those slightly wider powder skis. So again, very easy to use. The end stays there create a nice platform for the ski to sit on for doing any base repairs, patching or base file edging. End stays for the side edge. So you can work on a vertical plane here, or again you can increase the height to clear the binding, or back on that 45 degree plane if you prefer to work like that. Okay, so we've looked at some ski specific vices, but this is a snowboard vice by Holmenkol called the Board Fix. You can still use this for skis, but its primary use is for snowboards. So we have two end stays here, no middle jaw. We have rubber grippers on the top to give a good grip on the top sheet of the board when we're working on any base repairs. They're nice and wide, so it's a nice firm platform for you to work on there, for you to do your base repairs, maybe some side edge D-line repairs, whatever it might be. And then we've got little slots that are cut into the plastic which allow us to work on the side edge. And again, like these ski vices, we have a 45 degree cutout as well if we prefer to work on that working plane there. Okay, so another set of vices by Holmenkol. This time the model is called an all-in-one 2.0. It's a slightly cheaper version of the Super Pro Plus World Cup that we looked at first, but equally it's just as good. The end stays are sadly not height adjustable, they're fixed, but you still have the facility to be able to put the ski in at a 45 degree angle. The middle jaw will only go up to 90mm under the waist of the ski, so underneath the foot it will only take skis up to 90mm. And the two plastic blocks here actually transform the vice into a set of vices that will accommodate for a Nordic ski. Like so. They still have a wide platform, so working on wider skis is still perfectly fine, nice and strong and nice and stable. Okay, so the last set of vices we're going to look at are designed specifically for Nordic skis. This is by Holmenkol again. These vices are called the Nordic waxing spanner, and we have two end stays and a middle support. Now it's not a vice on this one because it's a Nordic ski. It has a pin or bar for the actual binding system. So these ends float depending on the camber of the Nordic ski. The main jaw with the pin locates into the binding. Like so. Very easy to use, very lightweight and compact, so you can take them on your holiday or in the back of your car. The bar height is adjustable here as well for the pin, so depending on the camber you can adjust that. Simply depress the ski, binding release, and that's as simple as it can be. In all the vices we've looked at, you can use them for personal use and in a workshop. But when you're mounting, servicing lots and lots of skis, sometimes you might want something that's maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit more designed for what we refer to as professional workshop use. So the vices that you can see in the picture here are made by a company called Wintersteiger. So these are their professional vices within their range. What we have two end stays which are height adjustable, so these have a huge range of travel. And what's unique with these is that we have two jaws, so they can accommodate for a set of skis rather than individual ones. So this helps to speed up the process if we're doing any hot waxing or any repairs, but equally if we're doing any binding mounting. Drop the stays here, secure the skis into the jaws, and then we can start actually mounting the bindings.